YouTube, welcome back to Wtf Rc Cars. So, we got a new firmware for the NB4, and that is 2.0.100. And just to clear a few things up on this one, because I've seen a few people getting slightly confused with this, so any firmware after the 2099 will work with the RM005 dongle that goes in the bottom for the Mini Zs. So if you have got one of those dongles and you're worried about the new firmware update, it doesn't break compatibility with it, so everything will carry on functioning as normal. There's a few fixes in this firmware, and one of the main ones is the fact that the DVB voltage sensor on the FGR 4B, 8B and 12B receivers, that can now be set to the RX icon at the top of the screen. So you can set and calibrate it, so not only does the RX icon work with the DVB, but it actually shows full and empty and will alarm you at any point that you want to set. So if you're running it monitoring a 3S LiPo or a 6S LiPo, you can set those voltages to be correct, so the icon will show full, flat and alert you at any point that you want it to. But let's crack on with update, show you how to get on with it.
Right, so just for ease of use, what I find you better off doing is we're going to create a folder, NB4, and then what you're going to want to do is go to Flysky's home page, select NB4, bring you to this page, and then you want downloads and upgrades. And if we scroll down to here, you can see the change log for the latest firmware. You can see the FCC version, that's the higher power, shorter battery life version, and the standard one. And the process is the same for any of these. So we're going to want to grab this version, and then you can go to your desktop, you can select your NB4 folder, and that will download the actual updater itself. And then what we're going to need is the Flysky Assistant version 1.1. So click on download on this one, make sure it's in your NB4 folder, and then you're going to want to download that as well. Now, depending if you don't have WinRAR installed on your PC, you can open another tab, and you can just Google WinRAR, click download, and then just click the English version or whichever language version you want. And once that's downloaded, you just need to double click on it to run and install. So once we've got these downloaded, you can then go into your NB4 folder. Flysky Assistant, if it's still RAR'd, you want to right click. If we show more options, you can extract to that folder, and then we can right click on the RAR and get rid of it because we don't need the zip version. Then double click into it, you'll get this folder, double click into that, and you'll have Flysky Assistant v1.1. So if you double click that, you will then get this page open. And then if you click that, it'll swap it into English. Now all we need to do is connect as NB4. So I already mine connected, so it said connected. If it connects up like that and it says red cross, you just plug in your NB4, it'll go through, it'll check it, and then it'll say it's connected. Then what we need to do is check model list, and that'll let it refresh all the model memories that are currently on your NB4. You want to select all, and then select export. It'll ask you where you want to save them. So if you go back to your desktop, then your NB4 folder, in here you can right click, folder, and then call it backup. And then we want to go into that folder and just give it a name. So NB4, so you know what it is. Then press save, and it'll go through here showing you that it's backing it all up. And this doesn't take very long, even if you've got all the models selected. So for the time being, we're now done with that one, so we can close that. And if you back out of this folder, in your backup folder, you've got an MB4 file. So next point of call is the Flysky updater to 2.0.100. So if we double click that, you'll get this prompt come up with your MB4 already connected, and it'll say it's on version 2.0.99 or 93, whatever you happen to be on. Right, so once you've got your actual controller connected, then we need to go to the controller itself, and then you go into System menu, and then you scroll all the way down to the bottom, and it'll say Firmware Update. You press that, and press yes. So it'll be Firmware Updater, that's what it's waiting for. It'll reboot, and then the software will connect to it again, so ready for update. And then you can just click Update, and you'll get a little progress bar there. And it's very important at this point, even if you think it's froze, this is why I never cut this part out of video. When it says erasing flash, programming flash, you may get it stop like it has done now, or it's slowed down. Don't think it's crashed, and do not unplug your MB4, else you'll brick the controller. At this point it's got no firmware written to it at all, so it's just a dead controller if you unplug it. You need to leave this and let it complete. And depending on the speed of your computer and the quality of the cable, that might slow it down, but just don't be tempted to think, oh, it's stopped, I'm going to unplug it and start it again. You will instantly kill your controller. And we definitely don't want that. We want updated MB4s, not dead MB4s. But as I say, it's why I don't cut this bit out the video, and I don't skip it, fast forward it or anything, so you can actually see in real time how long this can take to go through. It does tend to do it pretty quick on my PC, and from previous updates I think it actually speeds up at the end as well, so the last percentage tend to go quite quick, or it has done in previous updates. There is a few things it changes, and if you want to download the changelog, it does tell you. But the main one is there's one fix for one of the options that weren't displaying correctly, I believe, and the main one is the DVB, being able to now select that as the voltage icon, which is quite cool. I do think that's a lot more useful, especially on the electric vehicles, to be able to use that icon as your battery level of the actual vehicle or the battery that you're wanting to monitor. Nearly there, 76%. Not the most interesting part of the video, but as I say, I don't like to cut this out, because at least you can watch my video and see if it does pause, and you're not going to be tempted to unplug your controller thinking that it's stuck. Now, I'm also not sure if this is one of the updates that completely resets the model memory, but that's why I always back up the model memory first. Right, so it will say update successful, your Noble will restart, and let's see if I can get you a shot of the screen, and I'll overlay it on this video so you can see exactly what it's doing. So once it's actually restarted, you will get an update saying the RF firmware is lower, please update. So you just press OK. And then it will say update successful. So let's get back to restoring as model memories and as settings. So we can back out of that. We can go back into Flysky Assistant, and then we'll get this open. We'll swap it into English. So if you check model list, you can see they've all been reset. So now we need to go to load model memory, and you can navigate to your backup in your MB4 folder. This will have all your model memories backed up, so you need to select all. You need to select all on this side, so it knows you want to write all those to them. You can also do it one at a time and choose which memory it goes to, so you can press import and that will copy just that one over to that one. But what we're going to want to do is select everything and then press import. And this bit's quite quick, so it will go through restoring all your model memories. So all imported, and it auto refreshes, so you can see that you've got everything now backed up. So all your memories are back on your MB4, and if you just quickly check on your MB4, they're all there for you to be selected. And as a rule, what you have to do is rebind each one of your model memories to the RC it was bound to, but it will keep all your settings, all your endpoints and everything should be the same. So hopefully that's easy enough for you to follow. So let's wrap this one up.
Right, so there you have it. Your MB4's all fully updated. You've now got the new options, and I will do a separate video on that, showing you how to set up the voltage monitoring for the DVB and get it onto your icon. One thing that you will have to do, if you're coming from 9.9 or 9.3, I don't believe you need to update any of your receivers, so they'll all still work. I have tried them on the 100 firmware coming from the 9.9 and I didn't need to update any receivers, but you will have to bind them back to your controller memories. So that's something that's worth bearing in mind. You will have to bind your RCs back. It's not really a mammoth task. And I do have a video that I will leave in the link at the end on how to make a bind and update switch. So if you've got an RC like the Creighton 6S EXP we've got, I've built myself a little switch on that, so you can switch it one way, it'll bind, switch it the other way, and it'll go in update mode, leave it in middle, and it'll just work as normal, save you having to take the receiver box apart. But thanks a lot for watching Wtf Rc Cars. Hopefully you find this interesting or entertaining or useful. Don't forget to share to friends and family, hit that notification bell, and I'll catch you guys again in the next one.